Hey everyone, I'm your host, Courtney Massey.
And I'm your host, Valerie David, and this is the night session. And this is the night session year end awards. Everyone
Woo!
cheer! Woo!
I wish I had those little poppers,
Yes.
like
Oh,
confetti.
actually, no, I had the little noisemakers and stuff. I should have done that. It probably would have shorted our mics out. That's the kind of luck we've been having today.
Yeah, we should probably say we've been having technical difficulties all day long, and my headset has been staticky for some reason out of nowhere, like just randomly.
Yeah.
So I apologize if that happens during the show. Hopefully, it hasn't lasted too long. It's just kind of been random bursts, so hopefully it's manageable.
Which pretty much describes our podcast style, just random bursts.
It is. For this episode, we're gonna go through our awards. As you can see in our title page, we have a lot of awards to give out. But also we're gonna kind of go through our past episodes and share what we loved, jokes and stories and moments that we had throughout this show. That we wanted to highlight, and we were kind of going through our episodes, like listening to each other and how chaotic but wonderful it is.
Yeah.
It's chaotic and we're random and we have these bursts, but I think it's good. I think it works, and I think people have seemed to enjoy our organized chaos.
Exactly. And we wanted to, maybe point out some parts of the episodes that maybe you didn't listen to because we know sometimes people kind of go to their favorite player and listen to that
Mhm.
section. So we were hoping maybe we could point out some other things that you might want to listen to and finally learn where the whole Kukushkin thing came from and stuff like
Yes,
that.
yes, that's definitely a big part of our show is our little inside jokes that we have throughout the whole season.
That's right.
So
So we can start with
yeah,
our year-end awards, and what we did was we selected some categories, and we each picked who we thought was our best, kind of our favorite, who we thought was winner. During the last few weeks, we've been tweeting and asking for your feedback, and we got some ideas from you guys. So thank you very much for your feedback. Because sometimes when there's a whole year to go through, it's like I don't remember that. Oh my god, that was a good one.
yeah, I don't remember yesterday, so
Yeah, exactly. So this is totally unscientific. This is just kind of our way of talking about some of the fun stuff throughout the year. So don't, hate on us for choosing the wrong person.
unscientific. We're not mythbusters. We didn't
No.
experiment and go through the process. All right, so we'll start. Our first category is best Instagram, which is such a hard category because there's so many great Instagram
Yes.
moments. And so we'll start with Valerie's pick. Who did you pick, Valerie?
This might be slightly unexpected. I picked Fernando Verdasco.
This was really unexpected. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
I didn't expect it.
Um, Nando is lovely on Twitter. He's lovely on Instagram. He posts a lot of shirtless pictures. He posts videos of him working out that are extremely intoxicating to watch. And he is incredibly sweet. So he'll post little kind of poetic things about a sunset and about love and friendship, and meanwhile he's shirtless in a pool, it's just
So true.
I love it. It's just he's just endearing and totally hot, and he never lets you down.
Sexy and sensitive. Like he just has
Yes.
that whole tennis players really do have that heartthrob, sexy, sensitive, you
Yes.
know, in a fast car, in with puppies. Like you
With
just
puppies, yes.
they try and get everything that you could possibly be into.
Yes, exactly. So Nando is just every time a lot of times on Twitter and stuff. A lot of times people don't follow him because a lot of stuff is in Spanish. But it's like, but you just the pictures alone are,
Yeah,
are
definitely.
worth it. So, and I said, and he just seems like a lovely human being. So that's another reason that's enjoyable to follow him. You're never gonna find anything that's like makes you uncomfortable or you go like, ugh, I can't believe he said that. It's just Nando's a good guy, so check him out on Instagram. Check him out everywhere.
And who is your lady Instagram?
My lady is Laura Robson, and you were just talking about puppy pictures. She has lots of those. She has this hilarious Christmas
Yeah, she
light up outfit on.
owns Christmas.
Yeah, she's got the hilarious. Here's the Halloween one.
That was
She's
amazing.
yeah, Halloween commitment strong. That's what she labeled this as. She is really funny. She posts pictures with friends, with other players, and I said there's cute puppy videos. She also posts pictures of really gorgeous shoes, not just tennis shoes, but also awesome high heel shoes. So you get fashion and fun stuff and cute animals. So she's kind of a lot of times players have just their Instagrams kind of just one thing, and I like you said, the Instagrams are fun when they like cover like every they
Mhm.
appeal to everyone.
Yeah, and I think Laura is everybody's dream best friend.
Yes,
I think she's one of those people that you want to hang out with her.
yes, and there she is with Carol.
Ah, that puppy.
I know. See, there's like all such cute stuff in there, and for the guys, she looks good in a bikini.
Yeah.
So I said there's something else. See, look at the shoes. It's so awesome. So Laura's my pick.
Nice. And we have some honorable mentions.
And an honorable mention. I, of course, had to give Benoit honorable mention. Love, he's got a picture of a cow.
He's amazing on
That's so
Instagram.
Swiss of him. He is really he's so French. His his stuff's got he's got fashion, food, and these really sensual, arty pictures. He does a lot of them with
Yeah.
his girlfriend. Like, look, he's like entwined with her. He's
Yeah.
in her lap and stuff, and they're just
That's
beautiful.
just like hot. Like
Yeah,
it is. Like he's
yeah,
just great. Like he's just so lovely. Like
I
he
know.
looks like look, he looks like he's just in a catalog
I know this. I posted this
sweater.
one on Twitter because I'm like that outfit. Like it's like 12 different colors. It's like nothing you'd see on anybody else. He's his own man. I just
And then he always has panda emojis,
yes.
which is amazing and random. Like we have no idea what panda emojis has to do with any of his pictures,
No,
but
but
he
they
likes pandas, and I like
yes.
pandas. So
Yes. And he and Stan tweet the panda emoji back and forth to each other. So I don't know if it's become some sort of code.
maybe it is. Maybe there's some weird like tennis player emoji speak. Because
Yes.
you know how there's that one company or group of people that want to make an emoji dictionary and how it's become its own language.
Oh, that's
And I feel
true.
like maybe tennis players have their own emoji dictionary.
I would guess. I'm sure that just like we do, I'm sure they have inside jokes and things like that
Their
too.
own
So
dictionary. Oh.
exactly. Stan has used the aubergine emoji.
He has almost as much as you.
Well, just as much as me. He hasn't used the peach one yet, though. I would just
Mm.
die if he ever used the peach
You would.
emoji.
I would love to hear you, like hear your reaction.
Probably like break the sound barrier.
Yeah, definitely.
So
And we have.
that oh
Sorry.
yeah, I have a Sloane
Mhm.
Stevens is my girl honorable mention. I said that this should be subtitled "Yes, I am freaking beautiful." If you want glamour shots of Sloane, it's just epic. It's like just tons of pictures of her being gorgeous.
It really is. It's just like I'm sexy and I know it.
Yeah.
Like
It's just like how amazing how many different poses she comes up with, and it's like I'm cool, I'm happy, I'm friendly, I'm total pure sex. Look at my hair blowing in the wind. It's got everything. So if you're into total glamour girl, gorgeous stuff, Sloane is the Instagram for you. And she's got some good exercise pictures there too, I see, like the boys.
yes, gotta work out. I
Oh,
mean,
that's right.
if
Gotta
if
work it.
if you work out and don't post it on Instagram, did it really happen?
Exactly. No one will believe you.
No, definitely not.
That's what Ernie's problem is. That's why no one believes he works hard because he's not documenting it on social media.
I wish he would document everything on social
No
media.
kidding. He seems like a
That's a whole nother
natural.
show. That's a
Yes.
whole nother show of me complaining about his lack of social media. He does have a Twitter, but he never used it. He set it up, I think, to trick us. Like he set
Great.
it up so we'll stop asking him to get one,
Right.
but he never tweeted.
Oh, hilarious.
And it's incredibly frustrating. But other show, other show.
Okay. And then we're on to you.
Yes, my winner for best Instagram goes to Robert Linden.
This picture
And
is just
yeah,
epic.
instead of going through his Instagram, I just wanted to focus on one of the greatest pictures of 2015 of anybody. Anybody's Instagram. This is one of my favorite pictures. I included it in Outside the Ball's top 10 videos. I was obsessed. And it's funny because I didn't know if they would let me use it.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know if it was a little too cheeky. But I did. And you know what? I picked Robert because he's so funny on Instagram. And he's another person that he has like touching family pictures and travel pictures, but a lot of humor
Yeah.
in his posts. And I just think he's so underrated. And I've mentioned him before. And I mean, he's a fellow butt enthusiast. So,
Yes. And from this picture, he has a nice one himself.
he does.
I'm impressed.
He does. And it's both like purple, like his butt
Yes.
and the art butt are
I
both
know.
like,
I wonder if that was intentional because that
oh,
has
look,
like a
there's a
nice
purple.
mirroring effect there.
There's a purple butt. Gotta get my purple shorts.
Yep.
But yeah, he's just wonderful and so much fun. I think he's one of the players that always has a great sense of humor. So I definitely had to give it to him.
Right. Let's give it to him.
Yeah, I was trying to like avoid that, but then I didn't know if I should go for it or like tiptoe around it. Like give it to him. Anyway, so my best woman Instagram, I think I just had to give it to Serena.
Yeah, I figured
Um,
I figured you would, so I'm like, I don't, because Serena is pretty epic on
You
social
know what's
media.
funny is I was never a big Serena fan, and this year I've kind of learned to appreciate her. And following her on Instagram, I mean, she's kind of the queen of everything. I mean, she has pictures like glamour shots of her from her photo shoots, um,
Pictures of a
celebrities,
turkey.
yeah, food, celebrities, her dog. I mean, she just has everything, and she posts. She's one of the few players that posts so regular.
Yes.
Because a lot of players, especially female players, they'll post a picture here and there. But Serena, like every day, she got something new.
Yes. This is the one on the bottom right, the throne one that just cracks me up.
Big queen of everything. And I mean, all her pictures are great, and she just has such a variety of them. And so yeah, she's queen. You got to give it to her. And look, the freaking sweet old school Nintendo.
Oh, wow.
Like as a nerd, totally appreciate that, and I want that. Like I'm so jealous of like I want to play Street Fighter. What the heck? Um, so yeah, she just crushed it.
Yeah, definitely.
So our next award, I think we
Da-da.
should be at the next one. Best tennis player commercial.
Stanley and his little plaid Subaru.
I loved that commercial. That's
It
a funny
was.
commercial. I think everybody needs to look it up if you haven't seen it.
Yes, that was definitely very, very cute.
Very cute.
And one of Stan's better acting commercials, because sometimes he looks really uncomfortable in them, which I can't say anything. I would be too. But this one was he looked a little more natural, and especially the smile. So that
and he
that was a cute one.
and he's in a car, Valerie.
He's in a car. Oh my
Which
god, how is this not my favorite?
I know. I know. I have a feeling that a lot of our fans are going to be screaming at us about this category
Yeah,
because this video did not make our winner or honorable
I
mentions.
know.
I really thought Valerie was going to pick it, but she didn't. I thought about it, but then I found another commercial that I decided to use. Um,
We are honorably mentioning it now, though.
yeah,
That's why I
we
used
are
it for the
mentioning it,
title card because
but
it was really cute.
Yeah, but I do feel like we're gonna have fans that are gonna just torch us for this.
Yes, because I also got sent a stand, another Subaru, one of the Swiss commercials that is
Mhm.
basically him like eye fucking the camera for like
Oh,
2 minutes. And I'm
jeez.
like, oh my God, I can't choose.
That's amazing.
So if you haven't seen that one, definitely check that one out.
Wow, I'm surprised you didn't pick that one either.
I
I
know.
think we picked some surprising ones, both of
Yeah,
us.
yes.
Unexpected.
But
Or
I think
somewhat
that's good.
unexpected.
You
Yeah.
don't want to be predictable.
No, you never know what we're gonna do. All right, so our number one. We picked the same one,
Yes.
which is Rafa Nadal's Tommy Hilfiger commercial. Be-
How can you say anything was better than this? I
I,
mean,
yeah, like I'm not a Rafa fan. I'm really not. Like I'm not, super attracted to him or whatever. But first of all, like I'm watching this going, oh, 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 and then that unexpected, like, you pervert face. Like he called
oh
us, like we all freaked out at this commercial, I think, because we're all like, holy shit, he's taking it off for real.
no.
And
Yeah.
then like, and then he had that face of like he called us on our pervness. Like,
Yes.
oh, that
Oh
was
my
crazy.
gosh. That was a good place
Sorry.
to start. Look at
But
that
like that face where
face.
he's just like, you're being a pervert. I know you're being a pervert.
And he loves it.
He does. Like, remember when like Rafa had that like shy boy like image
Yes.
like a long time ago before he started making out with Shakira in music videos? Like, he's
Yes.
changed so much. Like like that one. We're just like, oh my god, and then like it's involuntary. Like even if you don't like Rafa, you're still freaking out that you might see his penis a little bit. Like you
Yes.
know it's not gonna happen. But there's that little window there where you kind of start to freak out involuntarily.
And I also felt like Tommy Hilfiger really did some great stuff in that um when Rafa did the Armani underwear ad, um it kind of made him look like a Ken doll.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Tommy, showed that Rafa actually is a man. So that made this like extra enticing. It was like, oh, hello.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my gosh. Is it hot in here? Sorry.
Yes.
Jesus. All right. So, unless Valerie has anything more she would like to say about Rafa's assets,
No,
um,
no, I
we
think
can move on to your female best commercial. Oh, why didn't that show up?
oh, that's
All right,
that's
let's
not good.
redo that one. Technical
There
difficulty.
we go. This one was kind of a cheat, but I like when Maria does the head commercials with Nole because you get to see a different side of her that's not so stoic, and she's like giggles in this and she acts kind of crazy. And they didn't do really a good one with just the two of them this year, but this one was she was really cute in it, and then Nole is like hysterical with his reaction to this trick shot artist. So I would put this in the girls one because it is great for Maria, but it's also just a fun commercial in general.
Oh, look,
So
Bernie.
I know there's all kinds of people in it.
This is
There's
great. I actually
Nando.
never saw this. And you know what's funny is this trick artist was at the Maria and Friends benefit, where
Ah,
in between matches he'd come out and entertain the crowd, and I had no idea who he was.
well, there you
Just some
go.
random dude who does tricks. But now it makes more sense that
Yes,
they did
look at
commercials. Look
Nole.
at his face. His mind is just blown right now.
Yes.
Look at his I'm sorry. I didn't see this before. So this is just
Yes.
like this
Here's
is
the
just
here's the best part.
oh, that's good. That's funny. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so I
That's
I thought
funny.
that was a good one.
And now we have your honorable mention.
My honorable mention is I had to go with this Roger one. This is the one where they show him in a day at home by himself, and it's really adorable. He talks to the parrot. He kicks the soccer ball around and knocks a lamp over, and But and it also cracked me up because they show him mowing the lawn, which I'm sure he's never done in his entire life. So this is clearly a fantasy. But we don't. Roger's so serious on the court, and the king and all this kind of stuff. It's really great when he does these commercials where he just acts like a dork.
It is really cute, and like him skateboarding.
Yes,
Just saw, and the parrot talking was, I think, my favorite part of this.
yes. And so, oops. Yeah, here he is mowing the lawn. Yeah, I believe that. The first time he's ever been in one, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, but it is cute. But it is Swiss. You did get
Yes.
one Swiss in
I
there.
did go with the Swiss when I was like the stand ones were like cute, but they're like kind of short, and this one was just like so much Roger adorableness. I'm like this has to get a special mention.
Very cute. So, oh well, mine. We both picked Rafa. For
Yes.
the women, I picked. This is kind of an ad for the tennis event, I believe. So it's not really commercially. But it's Venus Williams and Svetlana Kuznetsova with the best ball boys in the world. And this should not surprise anybody who knows me that I picked this one because I'm a huge dog lover. And there's actually an episode of the Courtside webcast um, for Tennis Atlantic and the Grandstand where I make a case that all ball boys should be replaced with dogs. And I was very passionate about that. Which is even funnier because if anybody listened to Courtside, it's a very kind of serious webcast. And I'm just going on about how dogs should be real ball boys.
Oh, they're
And
so cute.
it is. They're very cute. And I think it would be fun and just lovely. And it would just be cute. And like if someone threw their racket, they would go get it. And then how cute would it be to see this broken bash racket in this dog's mouth? Like how adorable.
And see, that would like diffuse angry players, because
Exactly.
how can you be mad when a cute little puppy brings over your racket?
Yeah. And it'd be funny if one just goes, "Oh, someone needs a kiss. I got it. I got it." And then just goes and kisses him and
That's right.
calm down, Andy. Calm down. See, like that right there. That's what it would be.
Oh, and I would be fighting Rafa for the towels. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, but I thought that was very cute and one of my favorites. And it makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, doesn't it?
Yes, totally.
It does. So, that's my lady commercial. And then for my honorable mention, it's Key Nishikori as a samurai for the Cup Noodles uh,
Man, I haven't seen
company.
this one.
This is really cool because I feel like this is a movie I want to happen.
Yeah,
I want Key Nishikori as a samurai, like taking on New York
that's
and
right.
doing all these like old school kung fu moves with like swords and rackets and tennis balls and like just all kinds of things. Like he's playing tennis with a sword right now, you guys.
No, it's awesome.
A sword. Like look at that tweener. He could have seriously damaged himself, but he didn't because he's a samurai master. And it's just, I don't know. I love this. This came out really early in the year. And it's just, I thought that was really, look how awesome that looks.
Does.
He's so cool.
For
And it's for noodles. Like
noodles.
it's like it's this awesome like samurai movie and it's like cup noodles. And it's just amazing. And it's just I love it, you guys.
That's pretty epic.
Yeah. So that wraps up our commercials.
Yay.
And then our next one is Best Racket Smash.
Ta-da!
Dun dun dun.
This Aga one, I think, has got to be one of the most famous ones.
I know.
And it wasn't even she actually did it hitting a shot. It wasn't actually an angry smash. It was she hit a shot and her whole top of her racket snapped off.
Yeah, I think that's the most famous thing. And then if you saw they did a lightsaber
Yes.
Star Wars edit in a GIF that you can probably find all over Twitter.
Yes, and they did a really good job of it too.
I know.
Really great editing.
I know. So yours is first,
Yes.
which I will play. Hopefully it's at the right spot.
Yes, this he well, I guess we'll wait to the end. But he was playing a really tough tiebreak with Rafa, a lot of long points, and he was he just cracked it right there. It's like it's hardly anything, but you heard this like audible crack. He was down 2-6 in the tiebreak. He played with the cracked racket and won the tiebreak 9-7. I'm like, there's no better racket smash than that. I broke my racket. And then I came back from a 2-6 tiebreak on clay against Rafa. And I won 9-7 with my broken racket. So
That's
I
funny.
just like there's been, like really visually epic smashes, but I'm like, there's nothing better than that.
I'm sorry I'm so quiet. I'm actually really watching this.
Yeah,
Like, those are some really good points there.
I know. It
I was
was
like, wow, this is good. Go ahead, talk, Valerie. That's fine.
just Babylon. I'm
Yeah,
watching this. Look at
I'm
that.
watching the game. This is good tennis right here. And then you said with a broken racket, like it's not even.
Yeah. He at least went to 6-6 with it because then they did the changeover and you couldn't really tell if he picked up a new one or not. But I'm not sure if he did. But he dug himself out of the hole with a broken racket. It's
I
like,
think I think it's proof that it's not the racket, it's you.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, unless you, unless it's like Aga's where you've completely taken the
Well,
top
yeah,
off.
yeah, that's a little different. I don't think she could keep playing like that. Well, I don't know. She could have just used the handle like a sword, like Kimi
Yeah,
Shikori,
Nishikori, there you go.
and crushed it.
And the Swiss guys, whenever they do Davis Cup, they always practice where they play a game where they hit the ball with the handles of their rackets. So maybe Stan would be able to do that. He's had practice.
You never know.
So then we're on to Sloan Deer.
Sloan dear, this
Sloan
is
Deer.
Valerie's female winner.
This was amazing. She actually did smash her racket, and like Aga's, it completely broke apart. That is really rare.
Yeah, I mean,
Usually I just break it in half or something, but this one she just lopped the top of it right off. And what it was she had won her first title at the City Open the week before, and then she went out in straight sets in the first round of Rogers Cup in Canada, and that was the smash. So she was just, you think you're coming off a high. I just won a title. I'm awesome. And oh my God, I'm losing. I just got broken on serve. And there goes my racket. So, which happens a lot. A lot of times when people, even experienced players, when they win a title, there's like a letdown. You
mhm.
played a lot of hard tennis to get that title, and then there's like nothing left when you have to start all over again a day or two later. So that was my two epic racket smashes.
Yes, my winner is Benoit Paire, which she ended up using this photo as the as the title page. And it's funny because she goes, make sure when we do the title page not to give away the winners. And
Yes,
she had no idea I picked this.
I know. I
And
would have thought you would have picked Murray or something like that because he had some epic ones this year, or
yeah,
Ernie, of
yeah.
course.
Well, Ernest is, I think, the king of racket breaks. But this year, we haven't seen much of Ernest
Yeah.
compared to other years. So I was kind of going through YouTube. This is how I kind of picked a lot of my stuff as I kind of went through YouTube to kind of remind myself. But there's a specific reason I picked this. First of all, I should explain. For a racket break, I love if you break it more than once.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing for me, unless you can really snap it in one throw. Then that's good. But I love the like multiple ones because especially when the crowd will go nuts and they start going, yay! Well, it depends on where you are. Sometimes they'll boo you, but certain places they'll get really into it. So Benoit broke it twice,
Yeah.
but the reason I picked this was Baghdadis's reaction. He was like so shocked and so caught up. Look at his face. And I saw some good ones from Isner. I saw some good ones from Dimitrov. But as soon as I saw this and Baghdadis's face, I go, "This is my winner.
That's
This is
awesome.
my winner." Just because you got two good smashes, and I like multiple shots, and Baghdadis's shocked face expression.
And this is Benoit got to the final in this tournament, so I had a he had a lot of difficulties and trials on the way there, but he made it through.
He got there, man.
This is Baghdadis probably had the same face when Benoit won this match. Like, what the hell?
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that face, just the everything about this video just came together really well. So Benoit, you get my Racket Smash award. And for the women, this was really surprising to me. Coco Vandeweghe, who her smash was so good, made it on the U.S. entertainment site Inside Edition, which is a TV show and gossip news site. Look at this. This was at the U.S. Open.
Oh, that's
and she
oh my
definitely played to the New York crowd, and the New York crowd likes racket breaks.
Oh my god.
So, and you know, I said I like multiple racket breaks, and she had
Yeah.
what, like 4 or 5? She just kept wailing. Look, one there, another, crowd once more. And so yeah, so it made Inside Edition. That's how good that racket smash was.
That's what everybody would tweet this with. Tennis is alive hashtag.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know, she's not that well of a known player.
No.
So to get on, you know, the kind of these entertainment sites, but yeah, she wailed. So I had to give it to her.
I
Man.
like the big defiant thing to the crowd also
Yeah, but
makes
look
it
at her
better.
going here.
You want to see more? Okay, I'll give you more.
How many did she break? Because that had to be
It had to be multiple.
Yeah, because this one was a different time period than the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't do it so far. But
So she went to town.
this one had to be a different racket.
Yeah, because this was multiple in a row.
Yeah, so she was going.
Which it's funny that you had Baghdadis in the other one too, because Baghdadis is well known for his when he smashed like 6 rackets in a row.
Yes, definitely. And I think, yeah, Baghdadis has had a lot of good ones over the years. So I have to switch tabs here. So Valerie can entertain you while I.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought that you would choose Andy Murray. I saw that he had one at the U.S. Open, and it was one he had later in the year too. But apparently, when Murray breaks his rackets, they break like they indent in the corners, like in the side of the racket. It looks like a Pac-Man when he's done with it. It's like this awesome. It's like everybody else is like smash in half and crumble. He like just gets this perfect crack right in the side. It's like that's like talent.
My favorite racket breaks are the ones that look like a heart. And I want like a player to give me his racket that's heart shaped smashed.
I want the one that Stan he breaks it and then he breaks it over his knee more so that it completely folds in half, because then you can get it right in your luggage and get it home easily.
Yeah, Ernest will step on it. Ernest will throw it and then he'll step on it again and like bend it. And I think he just started doing that over the last like few years. It wasn't his technique originally.
He's refined his racket.
Yeah, he's mixing it up a little. But he's clearly, I mean, one of the best, so we have to mention him. But speaking of racket breaks,
I was just gonna say this is perfect segue.
Next, we have Best Feud, and I'm gonna like toot my own horn here. I'm really proud of this. I made this.
I know, it's awesome.
And I was really proud of this when I found this image. I was so proud of myself. It was just a Google search, not really much to brag about, but I was really excited. So we're gonna do Best Feud. And we're going to get started here with our winner. We both picked this. Ryan Harrison versus Thanasi Kokkinakis. And Valerie was there.
Yes. Which makes me kind of biased because I saw every second of this glorious altercation and I wanted to use this photo again.
We should have used the one also because we both picked it. We should have used 2, and we should have used the one where Mo was like pushing Thanasi back.
Yes, because I've never seen Mo move like that in my entire life. He leapt from the top of the umpire's chair to prevent Thanasi from going after Ryan, and happened really quickly. So Mo was like really on the ball because Tanasi just out of nowhere just leapt out of his chair and started going for him. Yeah, luckily the umpire chair was in the way. And so Mo was able to leap from the air. He like slid down the ladder like a fireman. It's just like amazing. And then Mo had to kind of like try to intervene between the two of them, but then Tanasi started it up again at the net when they went to shake hands. It was just it was like volatile but also really funny because they were kind of just bitching through the whole match about stuff and like getting into it with the crowd, and it I was just entertaining.
Yeah, it was amazing, and, of course, I wasn't there, but just hearing it from Valerie, I was just like, "This is amazing.
Yes.
This is one of the greatest things in tennis," and it just made me so upset because I used to go to Cincinnati, every single year, and then over the last few years, because of money, I've either chose other events or couldn't afford to go, and I just was so sad that I missed this match because it just seemed like one of the greatest matches ever.
Yes.
Like, just funny, just ridiculous, batshit crazy, hilarious antics, and
Yes.
we both had to pick this as the winner, and I think we'll talk about this a little more later. Um,
Yes, we will definitely.
yeah, so that was our winner for the men, and then the women, we both picked the same one again.
Yes, because the women were actually kind of quiet this year. We didn't really like hear about if they do stuff. It's like maybe like more passive aggressive
Yeah,
than outright stuff. I know there was like a little thing between Roberta Vinci and Venus at
mhm.
one of the end of the year matches, for just a little talk back and forth. But this one was kind of the epic one because it was Jeannie dissing the handshake at Fed Cup again, by Alexandra Dulgaroo. She got beaten then in straight sets, and Alexandra then ran down along her team to do the hand slaps with them in celebration, and she pulled her hand back like nope, to sort of mock this moment. So there was definitely some hard feelings going on there.
Well, it was. I think everybody just kind of thought it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think she did too. Like, I think it was just one of these things that were so unexpected. And it was just Jeannie who, oops, uh, Jeannie who, it said she didn't believe in shaking hands before a match and wishing the other opponent luck.
Right.
And it just, you just had to laugh because it was just strange.
Yeah, it's like she kind of, in a way, it's like she kind of feels like she's not being hypocritical. So she like thinks she's making the honorable choice. Like, I'm not going to shake your hands when I don't actually want you to win. And it's like you're kind of missing the whole point of it. It's just a polite sportsmanship thing. It's like you don't hate the other person. It's tennis. It's competition, not war. It's just,
Yeah, it's
but
it's
it's
really
like
strange.
she's really
It's
stubborn about it. It's like she won't
Mhm.
back down from it because it's like I'm right, and if I shake hands, then it'll be saying that I was wrong before, and I'm not wrong. So it's like she's probably going to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's weird. And I picked this one as well, of course. And I also wanted to add that it is the gift that keeps on giving.
No, no, I'm on a diet. I don't want any cake. At least she knocks it over too. It's not just waving it off. It's like,
Yeah, it's really weird. Sorry, I was trying to tell my friend not to message me because Facebook now alerts
yes.
on my thing, so I was trying to avoid her messaging me. So I'm
Well,
trying to tell her.
I was just on a minute ago logging into my phone account so that my phone wouldn't ring again during the podcast. So we're doing well today. I got scared for a minute there. I thought I lost you on the volume again. It's like, no.
Sorry. Like we're both like trying to like fix this. Okay, all right, we're good. Hopefully, if she messaged back, well, that's on her. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So we did this one. What's this one? Oh, my honorable mention was uh, Lucas Rosol against everyone, apparently.
Yes.
Apparently, this year, nobody liked Rosol. And Andy Murray, we had the greatest quote, I think, of 2015 is Andy Murray telling Lucas Rosol, everybody hates you. It's just amazing. First of all, I think Andy Murray has gotten sassier
Yes.
with age, which I love. But poor Rosal, he just everybody hates him apparently. No one likes him.
And especially because Andy is, not, he's like volatile like towards his box and at himself and stuff, but you usually don't see him yelling at other players or anything. And
Well,
he just did this kind of like understated thing, like,
he
everybody hates you.
he's gotten a feud with Del Potro. I think it wasn't it Del Potro?
I don't know.
He got in a feud with somebody. I think it was Del Potro, but our fans can tell us. But he got in a feud years ago where he was just like, "Don't talk trash about my mother," and like
Oh my
or
goodness.
something. It was a big thing. It was a big thing,
Yeah.
but it was so long ago that like I know it happened, but I can't remember it very well. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
so he's had some feuds every now and then, but not much. You don't really see it coming.
Yeah, he
Uh,
got into it a little bit with Roger too a couple of years ago, which
oh,
was actually more on Roger's side, ironically. um, so yeah, but I had this too on my honorable mentions because I had a whole list about how the Ben are more into this kind of feud thing because Rasal and not only everyone, but it's particularly Rafa, they played again this year a couple times, and the hostility between them is just the air is just thick with it. And Rafa had a bad year because he seemed to have that same relationship with Fabio because Fabio does a lot of antics and things like that too during a match. But I think part of the Rasal Rafa thing is Rasal feels like Rafa gets away with a lot of like gamesmanship kind of stuff, and so then
mm.
he does his own thing like as revenge, and then it just escalates. But Rafa was involved in a lot of like really uncomfortable matches this year. And then there's the ongoing hatred between Federer and Nole, which they both deny, but there's always some little undercurrent. I think it's more strictly like super competitive. Like I
yeah,
think they can get along off court, but when they're on court, there's just this like seething between them, which is enjoyable. Um, And then there was, of course, the horrible Stan and Curios thing.
yeah. I didn't know if you were gonna mention that or not.
Yeah, I didn't like. I chose the Ryan Kakanakis one because it was entertaining. It
Mhm.
was funny because neither one of them really seemed scarred by the experience.
Yeah.
It was like two hotheads just got into it, and it was kind of amusing, and it went on the whole match, and it was just kind of more of like you know the boys being boys kind of thing. But the Curios stand thing was a little bit more kind of vicious and really uncomfortable with the way Stan's personal life was going at the time and stuff like that. And now with IPTL, they had to play on the same team,
I know.
and I couldn't believe that Stan actually. I thought he was gonna say that Nick couldn't be there on the same day or something, but I didn't. I knew he wouldn't want to be that petty. So I had been thinking, I'm like, if Nick just does anything decent, Stan will probably be okay. But they like got along fine, but you could tell that Nick was trying really hard. Like, we're friends now, like everything's okay. Stan just giving him the side eye, like, yeah, don't push your luck.
Yeah, I know. Everybody was just like, "Oh my gosh, they're on the same team. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, they're on the same team." And I think everybody kind of lost their shit. And I think a lot of people thought that like something would happen where it would change, and then
Yeah.
it never changed.
Yeah.
Um, who organizes that?
I think they do it long time ago because it's a weird thing. They have like what they had said originally was it was like teams have like a certain amount of money and then they
Hmm.
draft players that they want. So like the player doesn't really have any say in which team they end up on. It's just who wants to pay them the millions of dollars or whatever to play on
Yeah.
their team. So it's because Stan was up for it the year before and he didn't get picked. And so then this year he played, and I guess they just happened to pick him and Kyrgios, and then this happened during the summer, and you know
That's
6 months
sad if they don't
later.
get picked.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, well, that's got to feel really shitty. Like,
It's so
I'm a top
sad.
5 player. What the hell?
I'm getting gym class flashbacks.
Yes.
So sad.
But it is like it's just like any other sport. It's like if they have a
Mhm.
only a certain amount of money to spread around. If they already have, Federer or Djokovic or whatever, it's like there's not enough money to pay for another big player. So, and they had they had Serena there this year. I don't remember if Maria played or not. A lot of the big players only play 1 or 2 days.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was, and then someone else mentioned this on Twitter, the Rafa Carlos, because Rafa got Carlos banned from being an umpire in any of his matches.
I forgot about this.
Yeah. So I'm like, that definitely qualifies as a feud.
Yeah.
So Rafa was involved in 3 of my honorable mentions.
Wow.
So Rafa better, he better clean up his act next year.
Or don't, because then we'll have stuff to talk about
Yeah,
next
that's
year.
right. We'll be bored otherwise. But yeah, Rafa's a troublemaker now, and he's got
Wow.
problems with everybody.
He's taking his clothes off. He's
Yes, he's getting into feuds.
Yeah. What is happening? Who took Rafa on the wrong side of the tracks?
That's right.
He's turned into a rebel.
All he has to do is, just punch Uncle Tony in the face once, and that'll just make it for me.
Pretty soon he'll be on the side of the court with a leather jacket, smoking some Kukushkin.
Smoking Kukushkin.
Oh
Of
man.
either variety, perhaps.
Yeah. Oh, public indecency.
Exactly. Well, he's already done that.
Oh man. Okay. We're getting crazy.
Moving on.
Hey, it's New Year's Eve, man.
Woo! Haven't even had champagne yet.
We're ringing in the new year with weed and vaginas.
Doesn't everybody?
I know. I was like, probably a lot of people do that actually. It's just me who's just at home watching Anderson Cooper get groped by. Anyway,
Okay, what do we have
so
next?
our next one is our Best Bromance and Bestie Award.
Yay! BFFs forever. I love
BFFs
this
forever.
picture.
Thank you. I did too. I had trouble finding one that made sense. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna pick this one just because it's ridiculous and cute. Who doesn't love squirrels? And some squirrels have gone on the court,
Yes.
so
Yes, that's true.
it works. All right, so our first winner.
Oh, Valver. Who else could it be?
Yeah, Valerie picked this. This is
Yes,
Valerie's winners.
because this was awesome. Because this, like I was saying in Japan, Benoit got to the final, which he was extremely excited about, and he actually was a tiny bit injured. So I think it was part of why this final was okay because Benoit went into it going, I got to a final. I just want to play well. And if
Hmm.
Stan wins, Stan's my best friend and I'll be happy for him. And so it was one of those finals where it's like everybody's happy at the end, whether you
Yeah,
won or lost, which I is so rare. And I love
yeah.
this. They took selfies all over the court during the trophy ceremony. I have another screen cap of Stan's fixing his hair and Benoit's got his tongue out, getting ready for his sexy pose.
Oh my gosh.
But
Panda emojis for everyone.
panda emojis for everyone, and this picture was just so cute because they're just like they're so happy and like we just love being together. We play tennis. Look, I have a plate. I mean, it's just this is just so cool. So, and I love these boys in general.
Yeah, they're adorable together. There's a lot of great pictures of them together this year.
Yes, and Stan is like pretty low key in general, and if you get to see them practice or play together, Stan just completely comes alive when he's with Benoit. They tell jokes, they're laughing constantly, they're push each other around and stuff, and so it's a lot of fun when you get to see them together. You can tell they're really good friends.
Yeah, definitely. So we have your female winner.
Yes, which Flavia looks sad there all of a
I
sudden,
know. There's a
but
unique pause there in the video.
but this is Flavia and Roberta at the U.S. Open trophy ceremony, and this is where Flavia said that Roberta played well, and Roberta was like, "Oh, so I get the trophy, yes?" So they're longtime best friends. This is another. Both the ones I picked were people who were both happy to be in the final. Roberta had her huge win over Serena. Flavia got her first slam, which she then promptly retired afterwards. But I was still, they were really happy to be together. And it was, they were happy for Italy. And it was just another one of those really happy finals where you didn't have to feel bad for anyone, which is always enjoyable. And they just seem like they really appreciate and respect each other, and they both have a good sense of humor. So I enjoyed the hell out of them this year.
Yeah, they it was just so beautiful to watch. I mean, they were both so silly and they
Yeah.
hug and Roberta's just hilarious.
Yes.
And like it's just amazing.
Yes, and a lot of our followers picked them as their favorite besties
Mm,
for this year too. So it was pretty universal.
definitely. Let's try to get them. There we go. And then we have honorable mention for Valerie.
Honorable mention because you have to mention Caro and Serena because they are all over social media all the time. They go ice skating together. They go out to dinner. Serena went to the finish line when Caro was running the marathon, and she was there for her. And so they're just always together. Even when they competed against each other in the finals, they went out to dinner together beforehand. And I got this off Serena's Instagram. I thought this was just really cute. It was this capture of them chatting online to each other. So um, they're pretty adorable BFFs, and I think kind of unexpected for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if they didn't think Carol was worthy, maybe.
Well, I know like Caroline did that impression of Serena. So then
Yeah,
everybody took it as like a feud and everybody took it as, her making fun of her and being insensitive and all this stuff when really they're friends and,
yes.
I don't know if Serena was ever offended by that or not, but
No, she
I don't
said she
remember it.
wasn't.
Yeah,
And
I don't
and
remember it.
Nole had done it like 17 times before then. So that
Yeah,
was interesting
it
that
was
no one
really
said anything about that.
yeah, it was really strange that they kind of gone on her for that and I mean they hang out all the time, they're friends, they're great. And
Yes, and Carol has that kind of sense of humor. Like she got a lot of flack too because she made fun of Rafa when he had the cramping in the press conference, and she pretended to do it in her next press conference and like slid out of the chair and stuff, which it was hilarious. And
well,
Rafa wasn't, like permanently injured or anything. It happens to all players, so
no,
it's not anything to them.
and you can make fun of Caroline for her cramping
Oh
because she
yeah,
she went down.
totally. Totally. And I mean, she has a good sense of humor about herself, so it's
Yeah.
not like she can, dish it out but can't take it or whatever. So, which I'm sure that's why she and Serena get along. I'm sure they
Mhm.
both joke about a lot of stuff. So,
Yeah, definitely.
that's my honorable mention.
So my winner is Jack Sock and
Oh, they're
Classic
so
Pospisil.
cute.
I think, we talk about them a lot. They're very cute. They're always together. They're always taking videos of each other in the car
Yeah.
unexpectedly when one's not looking. They're always taking pictures together. They're just best buds.
Yes. They're very smushy. When they play tennis, they're like grinning nonstop throughout the entire match, which I think is sometimes how they win because their opponents get so pissed off that these guys just seem to be out there having a laugh, and it's like it's that they're relaxed and that helps them play better.
Well, That's how Dmitry Tristanov and Ernest Gulbis used to win, where
Well,
they
seriously.
would just bullshit. And Ernest would be bouncing off the walls, and they would just be doing stupid shit and not even caring about the tennis. And then they'd be winning, and they would win title.
Yes.
And it's like, what?
Yes. I mean, that's just the greatest story ever that, Jack asked Vashi before Wimbledon, like, hey, you want to play doubles with me in Wimbledon? And Vashi's like, well, if my back's okay, I guess we can. That's like it started in this completely like, hey, dude, what are you doing next Sunday? Well, I don't know. Let's play doubles at Wimbledon.
Yeah, it's
And they won. I mean, so.
they need to have a buddy comedy movie. And I keep saying that, like, I want so many movies based on tennis players because I think it would be so funny.
Definitely.
And like, I think it's more me being a wrestling fan, and like WWE wrestlers make movies like every week. There's like a new movie with a wrestler coming out, and it's sometimes they're big action movies. Other times it's just ridiculous comedy movies that are just like, oh boy. And that's what I want tennis to be. These just, oh boy, I can't believe they made this, but it's amazing type of thing. You know what I mean? And I feel like they should have a comedy where they go on a road trip or whatever.
Yes.
Or go around like Euro trip. And all these things happen to them.
Frighteningly, that would seriously probably really work.
Right? That's what I'm saying, you guys. Like, we need to like make a Kickstarter where we can start our own film company and like make these movies. Because I've had so many movie ideas in the course of our show. We should have had that. A list of all Courtney's movie ideas.
Then we could be like the creepy casting director. Do you want to be in my movie?
Yes, absolutely.
You'll have to audition first. There's going to be a lot of sex scenes.
Why you always gotta take it far, Valerie? I'm trying to be all cute, create a cute buddy comedy, and you're trying to make a porno.
Oh, those cute buddy comedies are always they end up at a strip club or at a sorority house or something. So
yeah,
you know what's gonna happen.
Definitely.
They would probably demand it.
Yeah, definitely. Oh boy.
So moving on.
Jack Sock will be putting Chipotle coupons in the girl's G-string. Oh my god! All right, that's true. It's funny because it's true. All right, so my winners for the best female besties were your runner-ups with Serena and Caro. And I love this montage because or collage, not a montage, whatever. This group of photos that showcases their friendship.
Yes. Oh, see, that's the one in the center from the marathon. See, yeah, it's so cute.
Yeah, they're just amazing. We've talked about it. We don't really have to go very long, but they're just besties, man. Besties. And so I have a special honorable mention, which Valerie doesn't know about. I picked Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake and their performance at the U.S. Open, single ladies. They're one of my favorite bromances in the history of bromances.
Yeah.
And, they broke it down at the U.S. Open.
That is true.
So they are my honorable mentions because they're amazing, and I just had to do it, you guys.
and they support tennis. Jimmy's done his at the bar with Roger Federer.
Yes! Oh, those are amazing.
They are.
Oh, that's so
I
amazing.
was sad when he stopped doing them. I'm like, Roger's been in finals. Why aren't you doing more of these videos?
Oh my gosh. I'm so happy you brought that up. I haven't thought about that in a really long time. Yeah. And if you guys haven't seen it, please go to YouTube.
Yes.
Definitely. I beg of you. It is so amazing. Jimmy Fallon's Roger Federer is just amazing.
Yes.
And yeah, they're always at the tournaments. And they're amazing. And I just had to include them. Totally. Our next category, Valerie, I think is Valerie's favorite.
Woohoo! As you can see, I had this montage mostly made already.
She really did. All you had to do was add best butt. That was already made.
Yeah. So So,
So,
we did that on another podcast. We're like, so.
but so happy. And this is Valerie's first pick. Surprise, surprise.
Woo! How would you guess that this is the one where I was not going to be unpredictable? There is nothing better than Stan's ass, as you can see by the array of photos that I have. Also, specifically highlighted this year by those famous plaid French Open shorts, which he won the French Open wearing those things.
Really? I thought he lost. That's surprising.
Yeah, he won. Yeah, if you hear people talk now, it was a total fluke that he won, just like the Australian Open. He's gotten totally lucky twice now.
People are dumb. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. This might be controversial for some people, but people are dumb.
Yes,
What bastards.
totally. So, but let's just pause and worship the butt. It's just beautiful. Then the thing it is I like big, strong asses that also move. You know, they have to have some bounce.
Yeah.
A lot of times they have like big muscular butts, but it's just like they kind of look like a statue.
Yeah.
Stan's butt does things.
You like some jiggle
Yes.
to grab onto.
Yes. I like the badonkadonk to, have some
Massage.
motion.
Yeah.
So,
motion in the ocean.
the motion in the ocean. So, Rafa. I was going to say Rafa. Rafa's another good one like that. Rafa has good bounce.
Good bounce.
Not as much as he got skinnier, though. That's when Stan moved into the lead.
Mm.
You have to eat enough pasta to keep that little bit of jiggle in there.
Health tips from Valerie Davis.
That's right. Work
How to
out
have
all
a-
you want, but, don't diet too much.
How to have a jiggly butt
How to
pasta.
have a jiggly butt.
We should make jiggly butt pasta as a brand
It'll be like peach shaped.
and do infomercials. Jiggly butt pasta.
And also, I also had to include the one where even Roger is staring at Stan's ass.
Yeah.
It's just so amazing.
Definitely. Well, as we talked about in our episodes, Novak's always touching it.
Oh, no kidding. Yes. Nole is definitely in love with the butt.
That one at the top, which I'm pointing with my marker, but you can't see me, has good shape. The one where he's with the Davis Cup team
Yes.
has very good shape.
Yes. That's what it is. He looks good from every angle. He looks good still, in motion. It's amazing. And you know what? I forgot to mention in my bromance thing that Stan the whore was like the bromance king this year. Because he has a really good bromance with Federer. They're totally adorable together. Lots of hugging and touching and tickling each other.
Oh my gosh, don't you want to be invited to that pillow fight?
Yes. Yes. And we talked about in one of our previous podcasts about Nole now has a special relationship with Stan.
Oh, yeah.
And he's always touching his face and his butt and hugging him. And so everybody wants a piece of Stan.
He's like Gumby. Everybody's just playing with him and molding him.
I will hug him and squeeze him and call him Stan.
All right, so we have. I know she can stay on this all day long.
I know.
I have to shut it down now. All right, so her female pick.
My female pick was Allison Risk, which, because I am obviously more into men than women, I don't notice women's butts as often. This was one of those occasions where I really did. I tweeted about it, which is why I had the screen cap on the right. Because she had this little skirt with the mesh bottom, and it was never straight on her because she has too much booty. So it was always riding up like a belt. And she has really, really nice curves. So I had to give a shout out to Allie on this one because this is pretty nice.
Nice. Everybody's going to be mad at me because I kind of cheated again. Where I want my winner is Ernest Gulbis, but here's the thing: I could not find a picture of his butt that I was satisfied with, and that was current.
He's mocking you right now. That's what that look is.
So I just picked a photo that I really like because I just think he looks really delicious here. Like he does look like he's looking at you up and down. Like,
Me?
you know what I mean? Like he's
checking out your butt.
checking you out. And I think we all know, like, he has a good body. Like
Yes.
he's not too muscular, but he's not too thin, and like he just has this really great athletic body, and he's just very pleasant. And I would love to explore his body and be more. Uh, I can't even talk right now. I
After
can't even.
Explorer's body and all just
I can't. It just all went to shit really
it just
quickly.
drifted away there for a minute.
Like I'd
I'll be
like.
in my bunk.
Yeah, I can't even. Sorry, my words. Just whatever. Just look at him. He's all. You know. He's. It's. I like how it says all whatever about sets.
Yes.
His shirt, and I want it to say assets. Not the assets, but he's gorgeous. I've been in love with him for like what 8 years now.
Yes.
Followed him around the world. He knows this.
Mhm.
Not a surprise. But yeah. So I had to pick him for something, but I just couldn't find a booty picture that I like. So I was just like, you know what? He's just hot. We all know he's hot. So let's just
Yes.
look at him.
Definitely. This was a difficult category because it's like there was no way I couldn't choose Stan, but there are some really juicy runners up like Luca Pui, Dominic Thiem.
I was gonna say Dominic. I was gonna because we've talked about his booty, and he like when he plays, like you notice it.
Yes.
Like, and it's so hard, like, to look away. Like, you notice it, and then you're like, damn, he got a behind.
I
And
know.
then you just kind of focus on it a little bit too much, and you're trying not to, but you're just like, it's there, and it's
Yes.
popping. And then
Yes.
I feel bad because he's like friends with Ernest, and like, I shouldn't be looking at Ernest as friends like that, but sorry, babe.
Yes. And all the Spaniards have nice butts. Rafa,
Mhm.
of course. Faru is really built nicely. Nando. It's like they're all good. And of course, Baby Borna Butt. We had to throw in a mention there. He's got promise.
Yeah, I feel like people would have got really mad if you didn't mention him.
Yes.
Because we talk about him a lot in our podcast, and he got a nice butt, and he displays himself, man.
Yes.
His Instagram is all like just putting his meat on display.
Yeah. Yes, I could have done favorite Instagram with Borna and had that like spread legs photo that we used in
Yeah,
our
he has
podcast. Yeah.
multiple ones of him just laying there going, "I'm here. My body is ready."
So yeah, so we're giving love to Borna. I
Yeah.
said some of these were really difficult because it's like this is what our
Mhm.
whole podcasts are about. We love all of this stuff. It's hard to choose just
Exactly.
one.
It's just yeah, little man samples. Just a buffet, a butt
A
buffet.
butt buffet. I was like a butte. That doesn't sound right.
We're having a buffet. It's like
Butte.
party. You're trying to make it buffet, but I think it works for party. So it's buffet.
Butte.
Our New Year's hashtag buffet. How's your New Year's Eve? I'm having a buffet. That's my favorite thing. I can't stop saying it. I'm sorry, but
Apparently,
it's really fun.
you need to go on your girl butt now before we
Oh
go
right,
off.
sorry. Look, I already forgot. I was just like, I don't know what we're doing. So, my female butt winner is Dami Sibakova. And if you follow her and her boyfriend on Instagram like I do, you will see a lot of her butt. A lot of her butt. She takes a lot of holiday photos of her assets, and her whole body really
Yeah.
is on display. And I mean, she's gorgeous. Her boyfriend, I mean, sometimes they take pictures together and like they're laying on a beach and it's so like sexual and like hot. And you're just like, God,
Yeah,
like it just makes you feel bad about your sex life. Just me? Sorry.
I think she has like the tightest dresses on tour. She's like they're like painted on when she goes out to play tennis, and they're usually half up over her butt when she's playing. So even when she's not on vacation, she's showing everything off.
Yeah. She's a curvy girl.
Yes,
And sometimes tennis players are just flat.
yes,
So I think a lot of the curvier ones probably stand out to be
yeah, they
tighter
literally
because
stand out.
yeah, you're not used to it. You're used to them being so flat up and down, and then they're just like, whoa.
Yes, definitely. I like Domi.
She's great, and she has a great Instagram too. Um, and she's very beautiful, and she has glam shots and just everything. But a lot of her butt. So if you're into that, I recommend following both her and her boyfriend because you will get a lot of butt.
All right. I'm signing up right now.
Yep, do it.
Ooh, in the
Ta
tunnel.
Yeah, take it away, Valerie, because you say that really sexy.
I'm very proud of this little montage.
Shut up!
Collage.
Make, making fun of me.
No, I do it too. It's one of those words, one of those age words.
Um,
I'm proud of this because this just came out really pretty, but
it
it's
did.
not hard to do because these boys are all so pretty. Um, we did the hottest dude duo in the tunnel, and we asked you to vote on which one of the six, um, dudes and duos that we covered. And then we also asked you to guess who you thought were our favorites. And so we're going to start with that.
So the votes are in, and they're very similar.
Yes, this is who you thought our favorites were. And I, I think people were very moved by that Borna episode where we really just.
Yeah, I think everybody listened to the Borna episode and nothing else.
Yeah.
And I feel like they thought we perved a lot. I think we did perv a lot more for Borna.
Yeah.
Than
That was
other
that
people.
whole webcast was nothing but smut from beginning to end. So I
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it must have been someday on a calendar for both of us. Because we were a little bit crazy in that episode.
yes.
Um, but yeah, everybody picked Morna, and um,
Yeah, and I don't want to say people are wrong because I love all these guys. I think they're
yeah.
all immensely hot and talented and lovely,
Mhm.
but as you can see, only 19% of you truly know me. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
over.
she. Wait, do you want me to go over?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
My favorite is Ryan. My beautiful, beautiful Ryan. And I love this picture of him. I took this picture in Winnetka. And he's still using it as his Twitter avatar image. So obviously he really liked it too. We had a connection. Um, but I my husband was I asked him like who did you think would be out of the favorites and he thought Barankis first because of the Lithuanian connection, but then he went, "Oh, Ryan." And he goes, "And obviously because it's your love is not results based."
Oh,
So that's the guy's perspective. But
throwing
it is, Ryan has had lots of ups and downs, and I love him no matter what. I always say I just can't quit you, um, because he can be volatile on court. Sometimes things don't go well, but he just keeps at it. He's like got such intense energy. I like his passion. He like really cares. And then off court, he is like the sweetest, most polite, gentlemanly guy. Plus, he's gorgeous and has a fantastic ass, and he's just amazing. So, out of these boys, Ryan is, my one true love.
Yeah, nobody obviously picked mine. Um,
they
but
really
if
got you wrong.
well, the thing is, if you listen to the episodes, you will know that. I'll announce my winner is Braden Schnur, and if
Mhm.
you listen to the episodes, you will notice that he is the only one that I put in the pot.
Yes.
The rest Valerie picked. He was the only one that I picked.
Yeah.
So he, has a special place in my heart, and I, saw him many years ago in Grampy, and he was very nice, and saw my stuff that I posted of him online, and reached out to me and said thank you, and which doesn't happen very often, you guys. Like as a blogger and journalist, like you don't get that a lot.
Right.
So it was very nice. He's very sweet and cute, and his family seems to all be great. So yeah, and I talk about him in the episode, but so he was my favorite. Nobody even came close
No.
to guessing that.
And it was like made me laugh when it's at one point there were no votes for Braden for you, but people were guessing that I had picked him, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah, that was not me. But if you listen to the episode, you'll know that he was the only one that I picked.
Yeah.
Um, so that was pretty easy if you pay attention to us.
Yes, which
But
you need to pay
clearly,
attention more.
clearly, no one pays attention to us as much as we pay attention to ourselves.
You're right. We're so self-obsessed. Why can't you be as obsessed?
Gosh,
I
Jesus,
think
you
you're
guys.
right too, because you said this before when we were talking about this, that we tend to like the people that we can have a more personal connection with.
Mhm.
And that's the thing about with Ryan, because I have talked to him on Twitter too, and his brother, who is also awesome. And I have some inappropriate fantasies about both of them.
Oh my god. We've had a twin talk with you before.
Yes,
Or like a brother talk.
brother talk.
So we've had this, and I don't know what episode it is, but we have
Oh,
had this talk before where I was talking about like cute brothers and you took it and you changed it to something else. And then I started talking about how I think threesomes would be a bad idea.
I think that might have been the one where I had the picture of Aliyash's brother that looks exactly
Yeah.
like him.
Yeah,
I
that's what
think
it
that was
was.
the one.
That's
Yeah.
what it was. And then I started telling people how I think threesomes would be awkward. And it was a whole thing that like went on a life of its own.
Yes.
So it's one of those moments that are in there somewhere.
Yes,
Just
definitely.
a hot mess, man. But yeah, so but it definitely because you talked to Ryan and you've met him and you have kind of a more personal relationship with, and with Braden, I kind of saw him, early on, in his
Right.
career, obviously, and he reached out to me and we talked a few times on Twitter, and so you kind of get to know his personality a little bit. You kind of know them a little bit, so it just takes them up a notch
Right.
than some other dudes that we just think are hot.
Yes.
So me and you, we both need that personal connection.
Well, exactly. And I said that's what I say about Stan. He laughed at my jokes, and it was like,
Oh
that's
yeah,
it. Then that was the end all. You're hot, and you think I'm
yeah,
funny. Oh my god.
yeah. Ernest always shakes my hand,
Oh,
and
that's
like,
that's the personal connection.
except for the last time when he smacked my shoulder, which I talked about on the show,
Yes.
where he just like smacked me. He's like, "Hey, boom!" I'm like, "What? Okay, that's weird." I'm
And he
I'm
doesn't
just
know his own strength, so you
no,
fall
no,
over.
no, it really didn't hurt. But that would have been funny though if he took me out. I wish that would have happened just because story wise, that would have been a better story. Um, yeah, I want a hug. Like I'm working to the hug
Yeah.
because I don't want to do it like on my own. Like I don't want to just go
Just
for it and then
fling
him.
just fling yourself at him.
Yeah, I don't want to go for it and then him do like the put your hand out and then the person can't hit you like on their forehead and then they're like swinging. Like that's in my head what would happen if I try and hug him.
Oh, there's it's hilarious. There is a whole video out there that is about how to give a bro hug.
Oh my
And
god.
it's how bro hugs can be awkward and that some men aren't interested in them. And they had a whole setup of the way that you could lift your arm up. And if they're going to go for the hug, they'll do the same thing. But if they don't, you can just turn it into like a high five or like pat them on the shoulder or something so you don't feel dumb.
That's hilarious. Maybe I should watch that just to get some tips just in case.
It is. It's awesome because there are a lot of social interaction stuff where it's like I always wonder how the tennis players that do the cheek kiss thing where it's like how do you know which side to go for first? And
Sometimes that's gotten awkward though, hasn't it?
yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I love the one where I can't remember. Is it Monte Carlo where they have the royalty comes out and that's like the only time you're allowed to kiss the
Probably.
the royalty, and that Stan went for the three kisses because that's what the Swiss do, and took her by surprise because he was expecting the double cheek kiss and she got a third one. It was like, oh, came in again.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah,
I would
so
like that surprise though.
yes, that would not be a
Like
surprise.
that would be funny if Ernest went, "Hey," and then just dipped me and like made out with me all of a sudden.
That would be
He
amazing.
should do that just for the reaction.
Absolutely.
Ernest, just it would be a funny reaction from me. So anyway, So let's get to what our fans voted as their favorite.
Yes. Dun, drum roll. You guys voted for the Frenchies. And it was really close for a while between Nico and Pierre and Borna. And I don't know if it was the tag team variety of it that they that they finally overtook Borna. Luca made a run for a while to try to get in there, but it's Nico and Pierre are your winners, and they are absolutely adorable.
They are.
They're French. They're smushy.
They're
They...
smushy. I love when you say that word. You've used that like twice today, and I
Oh,
just love it
probably.
every time.
I know.
They're a smushy.
They're
Because you do, you just
smushy.
want to smush them after you say that.
Yes, yes. They stare lovingly into each other's eyes. Nico kisses Pierre. They roll around on the ground together. It's
They do
uh,
seem like a good time.
yes. Pierre sings.
I know.
They
Oh,
are
so
just
pretty. We've talked about that on the show.
yes.
So pretty. So
They
pretty.
adorable shirtlessness together. Yeah, they do it all.
Yeah.
So
I
this was a
wish
good
they would
choice,
do it
people.
all.
Yeah.
Ah, see, that's a threesome joke, which totally contradicts what I said in past episodes.
Can
But
I
you know,
pretend they're brothers?
oh my gosh, you really have the fetish things for Valerie are my favorite thing in the whole wide world, which I will talk more about later.
Yes. Yes.
Um, so I have to switch tabs. So entertain people
I'm gonna do a little dance.
that
I
nobody
should.
can see.
Yes.
Do a little dance, make a little love, get
Get
down
down
tonight.
tonight. Exactly. I'll thank everybody for voting because that was awesome. That makes that whole segment a lot more fun for us that you actually participated.
Yeah, we would just be like crying, like no one voted.
Yeah, it's like, well, two people chose this guy, so I guess he won. So
Yeah, there's
thank
actually good amount of fan participation there.
yes. So very excited about that. So keep up the good work, and we'll keep trying to entertain you so that you will want to bother with these things.
Yes, definitely. So our last segment, I know this is kind of a long episode, but bear with us. We just wanted to go through our past episodes and kind of share our favorite moments and also kind of give you maybe some stories and some funny tidbits that you didn't hear
That's right.
because maybe you listened to a certain section and not the other. So hopefully we'll give you a taste of some of our other stuff.
That's
So we'll start with our pilot episode. And for me, I don't really have any huge talking points here. I just kind of, this was our first episode and we were so excited.
right.
I'm
Yes.
terribly nervous, but
Yes.
I feel like we were very well prepped in our
Yes.
first few episodes.
In our first few episodes,
And
yes.
then it kind of went to hell in a handbasket. But we were really prepped for a while. And, we had some really great segments on this. As you can see from this little still, we had Stan on Pop Sugar and everyone went crazy.
Yes, I had
Um,
the crab
yeah, we had the
slowly
crab
moving away from him.
that Valerie was very concerned when I put that crab in. Like, are you trying to say something? She almost knocked me out, I'm gonna tell you.
I was like,
Um,
what?
but yeah, we first introduced the Andy Murray loves cock in this
Yes.
episode, and we cut, which was probably a very good introduction because we realized we say cock a lot.
Yes.
Um, and we had Kokonakis getting attacked at Boodles,
Yes,
which
that's
is
right.
always fun.
That's right.
Always fun to see them cougars go nuts. We had the Gregor Dimitrov wannabe heartthrob segment where we kind of go through his Instagram and social media and how he just is the heartthrob, the it factor, the I'm
Yes.
gonna make you love me. We also, and of course, the first episode we knocked it out with the Kukushkin.
Yes.
And that has been the Kukushkin has been a running joke all season,
That's
where
right.
where I kind of brought up the fact that Kukushkin to me sounds like weed, and then in later episodes, also a euphemism for vaginas. And I,
Kaslapis.
yeah, he says kaslapis, uh, as Chelsea Handler, I believe, says as
Yes.
well. So But yeah, so Kukushkin I think was my favorite running joke of the season, and not just because I came up with it, but
Yeah, because
because
we just kept finding places to
yeah,
spring it on each other. That was what was great.
yeah, we both would surprise each other with random Kukushkins, and then her husband started getting into it,
Yes.
and he started giving us Kukushkin jokes,
Yes.
and it was just became this really well loved thing. Probably not well loved on Kukushkin's part. I hope he never finds out about this. But as I keep saying, weed and vaginas are both things that people love.
Exactly.
So hopefully it's a good thing. And also, I don't know if Valerie remembers this, but in the first episode, we said that we would sneak in an Orlando Bloom quote in every
Yes.
episode. That never happened. We never did that.
After I forgot the second time, I was like, eh.
Yeah, it was kind of a random joke that we kind of randomly brought up Orlando Bloom, and then we're just
Yeah.
like, oh, we're gonna do this quote thing because
Yeah.
apparently we thought that was funny at the time, and and it never happened. We
No.
never did it.
So maybe that could be a New Year's resolution is to find more Orlando Bloom quotes.
Maybe, and then once we do our next episode, we'll totally forget we said this,
Yes.
and and like most New Year's resolutions, it will just be forgotten tomorrow.
You can remind us if you want to.
Yes. So, uh, was there anything in the first episode that you had? I think mine was kind of on the
Yeah.
list.
Yeah, no, I think you covered it. It was I think we did get off to a good start, and especially because we did say cock like 275 times in that episode. So I think that set the tone
Yeah,
for the whole season.
it did. It kind of showed people like this is what we're about. But I was really impressed with the episode because I listened to it back recently, and I thought before I listened to it, I thought, oh my god, this is gonna be a clusterfuck. Like it's the first episode, we're nervous, it's gonna be awful, and then listening to it, I thought it was really good. Like I thought we did really well, and I was impressed with each other.
Yes.
Um,
As we always say, we enjoy each other. So
yeah,
that's
and
we
I
hope that that translates to you then as well.
yeah, and it's funny because me and Valerie are very different, but I feel like when we get on this webcast and we start recording, we're on the same page most of the time, except
Yes.
when she's yelling at me because she forgot to give me the right tabs, and then she
Hmm.
she yells at me for it. But but no, but we have such a playful kind of sense of humor, and I think it translates really well. And I think the first episode we had such great topics, so I encourage anybody to go listen to our pilot episode because I thought that was pretty good.
Yes, absolutely. I we had a lot of good Wimbledon stuff, which when you get to the second one,
Yep,
there's
already
more.
there.
This was one of my favorite episodes because I picked like three different things from this episode. So, did you have one to start with, or
You can go and then I can just add in.
um, you want me to just talk about them generally, or rather than skipping to them or whatever?
Um, it's up to you if you want me to skip to them.
Actually, can you go to it's 16 minutes 13 seconds if you can get to that because the picture is really red.
If I
Can you
can,
get close and then there you go.
16. Don't. Which
Oh,
one was
there.
it?
That's perfect. That's
Okay.
perfect right there.
Oh yeah, it was the Murray one. Okay,
This
sorry.
was you found this BuzzFeed thing on Andy Murray that made me die. It was all of these hilarious expressions from Andy Murray that they then labeled with when you open the fridge on a hot day, and it was like when you get something disgusting on your hand, and it was just really, really funny. And I was like going crazy the whole. We couldn't even go through all of them because I was like losing it so bad. So
Yeah. I remember that because we as we always say, we kind of prep and we kind of get our tabs in order and kind of go over them. And I kind of made the mistake of showing her this in the prep, and
yeah,
she lost her damn mind.
I
She couldn't
know.
stop laughing, and I was so mad that I didn't keep it to spring on her live so you guys could hear how much she lost her shit.
Yeah.
But the thing is when you listen back in the episode, she's still losing her shit. Like I can't because she knows it's coming.
I know.
Like she's laughing before I even say anything. So she jumped the joke
Yes.
like 5 minutes ahead. Like she's I'm trying to set it up and she's already going.
Yep.
And it's really funny. And there was all these different ones. And I didn't expect her to lose it so hard. And it was just amazing. I love when I make you lose it unexpectedly.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's one of my best, it's one of my favorite things. And she just died. So if you go back and listen to it at 16 whatever, it's so funny to just hear her lose it.
Totally. And I lost it in a different way. You can go to it's 42 minutes and 6 seconds.
You can start talking while I start try and get it if you want.
This was the naked stand thing. That's probably good.
Or do
Um,
you want this one?
oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, I was very proud of this. This took me a while to put this together.
This is the greatest. Either that or the heartthrob one was your greatest edits, or not heartthrob. The in the tunnel. You know what I
Yeah,
mean.
in the tunnel. Yeah, that this one was. I had to go find instructions.
I know you worked really hard on this.
And I was because it was so important to me because there was a big thing about that Stan wanted these photos to be artistic and not us to be voyeuristic about it. And to me then it ended up seeming like that they were more stilted than I wanted them to be because of this obsession with being artistic. But I liked this section because I think it was people didn't quite expect it because I think they thought I was just going to perv for 20 minutes, which I did some of.
You critiqued. You were
I
like an
critiqued.
art critic. Like
Yes.
you, like every stroke, every little muscle. I mean, you broke this shit down.
That's right. This was a hardcore analysis here. So, we take things seriously
We
here.
do.
Even butts.
We do.
We want-
We've established you take butts very seriously. Like
That's right.
the curvature.
The bounce ratio. Yeah, the waist to ass ratio.
Yeah, you talk about that a lot. The waist to ass ratio.
I have a lot of numbers. See, I'm statistical about these things. It's a science.
The science. This is where we get Mythbusters.
There you go. And then the last thing I had in this episode was towards the end, which you don't have to click on it. It was near our close off, and we were talking about some things at Wimbledon, and I talked about Federer and his pretty girl syndrome. That Federer goes places and people give him standing ovations and free food and suites at hotels, and he thinks that that's what everybody gets. He doesn't realize it's because he's Roger Federer. So it's this kind of funny. Like, he has this sort of like naive ego about him. Like everything here is amazing. My life is just flowers and rainbows. What isn't yours?
There's a great episode of 30 Rock based on this.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, pretty girl syndrome, man.
Yes. So that was I really I enjoyed this one. Well, it's because it had Naked Stand in it, so automatically it's a winner. But
Definitely. I have one more thing in this episode. Wimbledon caught fire.
yes,
And the plant room caught fire. And apparently the plant room doesn't have plants.
that's
And
right.
we kind of debated this because I assumed it was like the plants that were on the grounds. And she was like, no, there's no plants. And, we kind of, the Kukushkin joke continued about
Yeah.
how the Kukushkin joke caught on fire. But also, in the article where you were laughing about Andy Murray was the term pull.
Yes.
It in English speak that means like picking up a
Yes.
woman or scoring big, and we kind of made a joke that it was masturbation or sex related. And so we came up with a line that we were going to say as like a code for having sex, where if one of us had sex, we were going to say, I'm about to pull it in the plant room.
That's right. That.
I did too. When I listened to it, I go, how did we forget that?
Pulling in the plant room.
So we said that if we were gonna, if one of us was gonna like if I was gonna hook up at a tennis tournament, which is never gonna happen, and I would just be like, "Hey Valerie, I'm about to pull it in the plant room," which is just another way of getting busy.
Oh my gosh.
So
That
yeah,
is
that was
hilarious.
yeah. So we had a whole spiel about that in the episode, and it was really funny. And I had to bring that back because pulling it in the plant room, that should be a thing, man.
Yes, definitely. See, this is why everyone needs to listen to these over and over again so that we can remember all of these
I know we
amazing
need
things.
you guys. We need you guys to tweet us stuff and like hashtag and like make memes of us. Like we need because we can't remember. We're old. We have like old lady brain where we're just like, remember in my day, what was that about Stan's ass? Like we can't remember shit. So we need you guys to remind us.
That's
So
right.
I think that was episode 2. That was good. We had some we talked about the Aussie boys being bad.
Yes.
We had a lot. So that was a good
Was that
episode
the
too.
Aussie Aussie Oi Oi Vey?
Let me see.
I don't know if I used that one yet. Oh, it was two dicks and a
No.
cock. That's what this one was.
I like, oh, it was 2 dicks and a cock. Silly me. Like, you said it so matter of factly, like, oh, 2 dicks and a cock, of course. Oh my gosh.
So
That's
that
too
I think
funny.
that's it for session
Well, that's it
2.
for session 2. So episode 3,
I think we both like it's at an hour 14 and 44 is what I have.
okay.
1 hour 14. Oh, well, you can click anywhere in there. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
I love this whole segment. Courtney and I both have experience attending challengers. Um, we talked about how like grassroots these things are. It's not the same as going to a big tournament, but you get a lot closer to the players. You get to interact with them more, even when you don't expect it. Um, I love when you talked about actually having to sit on the court.
Yeah, that's really weird. It's the weirdest thing because you feel like you're not supposed to be there,
Yeah,
but you're allowed to because that's how you have to watch it, and you have to sit on the actual court where they're playing. Which, first of all, my first thought is I'm gonna get hit by a ball.
yes,
My second one is like I shouldn't be here. This is wrong. But
right.
it's funny. It's really funny.
Yeah. So, and we had they talked about the guys asking us if balls were out. We had my favorite Blaj, Kovacic chasing the bug. It is too fast. I cannot catch it.
That was really funny. I recommend everybody go listen to that story because that was one of my favorite stories Valerie has ever sent on the show. Because it just made me laugh so hard. It was amazing. And that impression alone was just beautiful that she just did. It's the best. I could catch.
I cannot catch it. Oh yes, I just like because we both enjoyed it, and I really would like people to listen to it because I wish they would support challengers more because
Mhm.
these events can be a hell of a lot of fun, and I think a lot of times people just go, it's not the big players or whatever, and it's like these guys still play epically good tennis, and
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, and
And
I said I liked this segment.
yeah, and they pop off a lot more, I think, in
Yes,
challengers.
yes,
They're completely unhinged. Like
yes.
they will lose their shit really easily.
Yeah,
And
so
it's
if you
amazing.
enjoy drama and learning new curse words, challengers are the place to go.
It's really amazing. And another highlight in this episode, I'm not gonna there's really no picture for it, but we Valerie and I were talking about facial hair.
Yeah.
And we went on the most epic rant against neck beards, which is when you have a beard that's like below your chin, but
Yeah.
like not on your face,
Yes.
and how we hate that.
Yeah.
And it's not attractive. And I feel bad because I have a couple friends with neck beards.
Yeah.
Um, a couple players that I like have neck beards. It's not a good look, guys. Please shave it. Don't please just shave it. But we went on like this huge rant, and it's epically hilarious because we're so serious. Like we're really like passionately pleading for neckbeards to go away.
And I'm not even sure did we even intend that as a segment or did we
No,
go off
no.
on I think we just went off on it.
It was an unexpected. It wasn't planned at all. I don't even know if it was even close to what we were talking about originally, But somehow we got on neckbeards and we just went off. And we were so passionate about it and it's so funny. I mean, when you listen to it back, it's just so ridiculous. But it's truthful. We're not joking. We are
Yes.
not joking. We are very serious about the neckbeards. But I highly recommend anybody to go listen to it because it's just batshit crazy. And but it's just amazing. I love those moments when we don't plan it
Yes.
and we just sound like crazy people, but we're honest and we're factual in our rants. Like
That's right.
neckbeards aren't a good look, man. Don't do it. If you want to get laid, don't do it.
That's right. See, we give practical advice. It's
Yeah,
not just a pointless rant.
exactly.
We're trying
So
to help you.
yeah, so go back and definitely check out those things out in episode 3. And is that it for episode 3? Go to
Yes.
episode 4. Yay, episode 4. I can start off because mine's right in the beginning. One of my favorite parts about this episode, not to toot my own horn, but was me talking about Montreal. Um,
Yeah.
because I went to a day trip and everything went wrong. And those are always for good stories. And I did share about the golf carts around Montreal and
Yeah.
crazy Rafa fans chasing after the golf carts.
That was an awesome story. You have to go back and listen to that because that was epic. Because you could
And
just visualize it when you were talking about it, and it was like so insane.
it's crazy. It's absolutely insane to go to an event and it's just super packed. And then there's these golf carts that carry players, and then it's already packed, and then all of a sudden these sea of fans are running towards you, and it's absolutely terrifying, but really funny at the same time. And it's just they all have giant tennis balls, and they're all Rafa, Rafa, and trying to get selfies, running backwards. I mean, there was a whole thing. So definitely go back and listen to it because it's a treat.
Definitely.
What else we got in episode 4?
You know what? I actually skipped 4 because I
Did
I didn't
you?
want to pick like 700
Yeah, we
things
we
and
try to
just
keep it light.
yeah, I was trying to be select. Obviously, Born a Butt was in here, so I'm
Yeah,
sure
born
that's
about it.
definitely worth listening to.
Yeah, definitely. But
But yeah, your stuff from Montreal is definitely
yeah,
go
and
back.
it's easy to listen to. It's right in the beginning
Yes.
and goes through my nightmare of a day at the tournament.
Yes.
Everything went wrong. And that's the best stories when everything goes wrong, and it really did. So check that out, and we'll go to episode 5.
Episode
Um,
5. Ta-da! This is it right here for me.
yeah, yeah, I have a couple things in here in this episode that highlights, but definitely I think the highlight of the whole season was Valerie talked about her trip to Cincinnati and obviously full detailed. So if you heard about the Ryan Harrison Kokonaka's fight, you haven't heard it like how Valerie tells it because everybody just highlights like the fight. You highlighted the whole match and every batshit crazy moment that happened. And it was so amazing. And I feel like you guys really need to go back and listen to that if you haven't, because Valerie just knocks it out of the park and makes me want to cry because I missed it. It's so funny. I mean, so many things, even not just the actual fight, just the shit they would just mumble to themselves.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
fans were batshit crazy. I mean,
Yes.
everything just popped off and it's amazing.
Yes, which is why this ended up in the best feud category too, because it was just so freaking epic. And we didn't mention it in the best feud part, but it's great to listen to here when we get into the part about Ryan doing air quotes. That may be my
Yes.
favorite thing in all the podcasts because we both like lose it over air quotes. And I've got a screen cap of it and everything, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Ryan was sassing using air quotes, which
Using air
I mean,
quotes.
when you're using air quotes in an argument, it's going to be funny. Like,
Yes.
and it did the air quotes thing. We both just lost our minds at that part,
Yes.
especially me because I wasn't there, so I didn't know that air quotes were coming. And then
Yes.
and then Valerie hit me with them, and I was just like,
And I love that I when this was happening, I just put the camera on, super take 700 photos, and I just kept clicking, and like so I got all kinds of cool photos, and I was so happy I got that, him actually doing the air quotes. It's like I caught him in mid quote.
yeah, that's just epic.
So
It's
that
just
I had also, it's at 1 hour 23.
Almost there.
Yep, yep, right there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
This
these.
is what we labeled it, the surprisingly deadly Winston-Salem trophy.
Those are terrifying.
We riffed on this thing for like, I don't know, 15 minutes about all the things it could be used for. We're like killing vampires and all kinds of stuff. And so I love this section because when I was going through, I think I was looking for some other stuff in this podcast and I stumbled on this and I was just dying because it was just supposed to be this like one-off mention of, oh, look at this crazy trophy. We just like ran with it. I think you made another one of your movies in this
Yeah, I think
segment too.
every episode I create a movie.
Yes.
Um, there was one with Genie and Curios. Every
Yes.
episode I kind of create this movie because one of my first passions in life was the film and wanting to create my own films. So that's a lot of things I see and I go, oh, let's make a movie. I
Yeah.
have that kind of brain. So every episode you will hear me create a movie.
Yes.
And this
So
was one of them. And it's so easy because it's just like you can kill people. You can, I mean, those are so dangerous. And there was, I think, other ones too that were like similar or different. Maybe they were the same, but we went on like we were
yes.
killing everybody. Oh yeah, because we were doing that Ernest School with Vampire Hunter or something,
Yes.
and like, and then we had the Death Stars or whatever. Yeah,
Yes. Yes. So it's definitely you have to listen to the insanity over this.
I'll have to when we stop recording. I have to go back and listen to that
Yes.
because I
Definitely.
remember how funny that was.
So did you have any in
I
session
did.
5?
Well, in this episode, Valerie talks about how she went to Cincinnati, and she shared a story about Milo being in the elevator with Milos.
Yes.
And I really love it because we talk about the elevator that like service, press, players, tournament workers. We all take this little elevator. And it is the smallest elevator
Yes.
you have ever seen. And it's packed with people. And it doesn't work very well. Like you think it's just gonna stop working and it's crazy. And Valerie talks about the elevator, but she also talks about being stuck in the elevator with Milos and it going up and down and not really going anywhere.
Yeah.
And food carts and some funny stuff with that I think everybody should go back and listen to because I really love that kind of stuff when we can share behind the scenes stuff that fans don't get to see.
Yes. And
Um,
it's kind of a little bit of that dry sense of humor from Milos. A lot of people don't realize he has because he's kind of seems so serious all the time, and it's like he actually has this really kind of quirky, dry sense of humor, like Andy Murray a little bit. And so it was fun to get a little taste of that in the elevator.
Yeah, and who doesn't want to get stuck in the elevator with tennis players? I mean, I
That's
think
right.
we all kind of fantasize about that. And it's great when we can kind of share our experiences that not all fans can kind of get. And that's one of them. I've always loved the elevators. I never got to be on a elevator with a player because when I was in Cincy and had a press pass, I only got one ride in the elevator, which was just me, my friend, and the elevator worker person. And that was it. And then the rest of the time it broke and I had to take the stairs,
Uh,
which is very far up, you guys.
oh, going up is I take the stairs down because it's not that hard. You can kind of just let gravity work for you. But
Yeah,
going
but it's
up,
still so high up that it's so freaky.
yeah. Well,
I
yeah, and
don't
you
like
were taking the outside stairs a lot of times too, which
yeah,
is even worse.
I didn't know there were inside stairs.
Yeah.
Because anytime I try to go on inside, they were like, "No, you have to go on those stairs." And I'm like, "Okay." So I didn't know about the inside stairs. I was going on the outside stairs, and they are the trippiest thing because you're
Yeah.
so high up and like all the courts are around you and it's ugh, I don't like it.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
those kind of like suspended staircases too. So it's like you just feel like you're on a staircase in space, sort of. It's
it's
like,
really bad. It's not fun. So I didn't get to use the elevator very much. But that's okay. But anyway, that it's a good story and everybody should go see it. So
definitely.
episode 6. Wait, are we done with episode 5?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think so.
just checking. Episode 6 started when we started this webcast, a lot of our viewers come from Valerie because Valerie has a huge fan following and not many people know who I am. So a lot of, when we would get compliments for the show, everybody was complimenting Valerie's sexy voice, which I forgot to mention. And when we were talking about the first episode, how we introduced people to Valerie's sex voice, and everybody comments on her voice and everything. And nobody really, knows a lot about me or, paid much attention to me until uh, episode 6, I shared a story about Ernest Goulbus's penis, and everybody paid attention to me after that.
It's your claim to fame.
It is. It's my claim to fame in Ernest's pants. So, yeah, so I told a story about Ernest's penis, which is in the beginning of the episode, which is around here where I paused it, which is around the 2-minute mark. Because we were talking about tennis player bulges.
I was just gonna say, like, this is the perfect picture for this.
Yeah, so we were kind of on that track, and then I told this story about Ernest's penis, which I hope he never finds out that I said. So everybody should go listen to it because it did. Like, people really laughed and kind of complimented me on it, and that's how people started to pay attention to me.
That's how they got to know you.
Yeah,
it was from cock to penis. It all makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, that happened. Do you have anything else in this episode?
I have at the very end. You can just go towards wherever our closing is. It's like 1 hour 22, somewhere down there. Oh, shirtless French boys. That's also nice. We always joke about our epic send-offs that we're never sure exactly where they're going to go. And you even said at the beginning of this one, here's another one of our weird send-offs. And as you can see, there's like 5 minutes of this where we just talk more and more and more. And this was where I talked about when I was cheering for Roger, and I it's like Roger, and I go through a whole insane thing of that, and then we were making fun of that weird Novak commercial that they did. Give Novak, give.
It is the creepiest fucking commercial. Like, I didn't even know what it was. It was because it happened and we all weren't really paying attention, and then all of a sudden, isn't it like Kevin Spacey or something?
Yes,
and it's like all of a sudden you hear him go, "Give Novak, give," and he does it in this really weird whisper.
Yeah,
like, I was like online, and I feel like you were doing something else too.
Yeah, it was.
And then all of a sudden we look up because we hear this creepy ass whisper, and we're just like, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah,
and nobody knew what it was. It was just this random whisper. And finally, I think none of us knew what it was until we looked online and like actually watched the whole thing.
Right. And it still didn't make a hell of a lot of sense, but
No.
you got a little more context. But it was like everybody on Twitter seemed to have all been caught by surprise while like making a sandwich or, checking their emails or something. Give, Novak, give. So really this whole episode, we do that through the whole episode. And then at the end, I said the Roger stuff gives way to that. And we just go on and on and on and on. And it's very representative of our usual closings on these things.
I think our send-offs are always so special because we don't plan them. It's just we kind of make a title and end credit with our name and where to find us. But we don't really plan anything. And none of us, Valerie and I really don't know how to stop talking.
As you may have noticed.
Yeah, we have
podcast goes on and on.
We have a babbling problem where we don't know where to end.
Yeah.
So it's very hard for us to just go, well, that's our show. Thanks for listening. And then end it. We kind of get on this train of thought and then it just snowballs into like extra minutes.
Yes.
That's just absolute craziness. That's just babble. Like sometimes it doesn't even make sense and we're just going. But I think it creates some of our best moments because I think we're just so raw and we have no notes.
Yes.
And we just kind of go and let our brain go for better or for worse. So yeah, that's always special.
Absolutely. So that's all I've got for 6.
And then episode 7 was the dick table continued.
Yes, we had a guest for this. We had Steph, who you might know on Twitter as Steph in the US. She guested and to talk a lot about tennis stuff, and we actually got her to talk about butts too, which is not her usual MO. But this was the infamous we brought up Ernest Goldus's penis again. Courtney used it in the intro for
Yeah, and
for
I feel, it's funny because at the time I didn't really realize how shocking that might have been for Steph, because Steph doesn't had no idea what the Dick Table story was. And I kind of introduced her that we had a special guest. No, it's not the table that Ernest rested his dick on. And um so I kind of had that joke, and I later realized she has no idea what this joke is. So
right.
she just came on our episode, completely had no idea what this was, and we hit her with Ernest Goldus's penis straight off the bat. Like intro, and like she
Not
has
literally,
no
of
idea.
course.
No. But unfortunately no. It would be funny if I can detach it and just go with it.
Just smack people with it.
I'm sure he would do that if he could. Like all the journalists that ask stupid questions.
That's right.
Eat my
The
dick.
whack.
Anyway. But yeah, so she had no idea what that story was. And I don't know if he really explained it very well or not, but um yeah,
Yeah.
she started off right.
Yes. and and I've got it's at a little after 30 minutes 41 seconds, somewhere like that. Yeah, there.
Nope.
Wow. It's just
30.
after that. Yeah, that's good. We talked about we started off with Steph talking about a journalist that had been at one of the tournaments and basically just slobbered all over Lena and was completely a fan. And this led us into a whole conversation about whether press conferences and stuff should, where do you draw the line between being a fan and being a journalist, and would some of these press conferences go more smoothly if people were a little bit more fanish or more familiar with the players or friendly, and that things weren't so stoic all the time. So we had a big huge discussion about that, and all three of us had kind of different perspectives on it. And this is one of my favorite parts that we've ever done in the webcast, because I thought it was fun. We had like some funny stories and stuff, but also I thought it was a really good discussion about how maybe these things could work better for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. I think because it's funny because we all have different careers
Right.
and we're all at different places and we all have different experiences and we all kind of brought our experiences together, and it is interesting, the whole fan dynamic, and especially the transition of being a fan to being a journalist,
Right.
and that kind of awkward, some people are trying to be like super professional, and others, are just like, hey, I love you, how awesome is this,
Yeah,
like.
right.
And I think it's,
Exactly.
yeah, it does, it's really cute, so that was a good discussion. I would definitely recommend it. And yeah, I think
That's meant for mine for 7.
yep, I
But
think.
I enjoyed that whole episode with Steph. I thought we had a good time.
Hmm. And the first time we had a guest, so like
Yes, that was
it was,
also monumental.
yeah. And then number 8. And I'll let you go if you have stuff for 8.
The A1 is really, it just had all be about Borna in the tunnel. And this is the one where we went just completely crazy.
Yeah, we some weird day on the calendar for us. My highlight was, I had two highlights from this. First, I'll set this one up first. Um, what was it? One around here. I had where Elena Yankovic's
Yes.
trophy looked exactly like a Sharknado Funko Pop. And when I was kind of going through our episodes, coming up with things that I loved, I realized that I didn't get to buy myself a Sharknado Funko Pop. I forgot about it.
Oh no.
But this is the Sharknado Funko Pop, and I love Sharknado, you guys. It's ridiculous, but it's amazing. And this trophy looked exactly like that, and I forgot to buy it for myself.
Oh.
I'm very depressed.
Now you have to go on eBay and pay like twice as much for it.
No, no, I can get it on like Amazon and stuff for 10 bucks.
Okay.
But I'm sad. I'm sad that I forgot to buy it for Christmas because I bought Funko Pops for myself, and forgot about this. So I was bummed. But my favorite aspect of this episode was when we were talking about Borna. Um, and oh, here, I can
Yeah,
stop it right
there's the
here.
perfect, yeah.
And
Uh,
Valerie shared a fetish of hers. She shared that she has a thing for dudes and hooking up in cars.
yeah.
And this is something I didn't know about Valerie. And I love the really unexpected moments where we share stuff about ourselves that just comes out. And
Yes.
we don't know it about each other. And it just was a beautiful moment. And I think it was really funny, especially my reaction because I had no idea. So I have such a like, whoa, wait a minute, what? Kind of reaction. Like, did she just say she likes to bang dudes in cars? What is like? I was so shocked about everything, and it was just a really beautiful moment where she just shared with us,
Yeah.
and it was a beautiful, beautiful moment.
The beautiful sharing moment.
It
As I
was. It was
talked about wanting to share things with Borna.
in cars.
In
Like you
cars.
were specific, and
Yeah.
like it was amazing because you hear how surprised I am. And you hear I wasn't because we don't you can definitely tell the moments we don't plan because you can
Yeah.
hear it in our voice like we don't hide it very easily.
Yeah.
We're very
That's not
oh my god, and I
true.
had that reaction. Oh, it was amazing. So yeah, that was episode 8.
Yes,
Great time.
the whole Borna thing was
Mm.
pretty good, especially because I said that I liked this whole one because it was just pure sex from beginning to end. So
We were just nuts. Like
that might have been where the brother thing came in. Oh yeah, because
yes,
it is. It's
yeah.
threesomes is in the title. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So this is where we right here, I think, is it? No, maybe not. Nope, that's not it.
that's shirtless Roger.
I'm trying to find it now, but
Oh,
because I think it's an Instagonus, isn't it?
yeah, it should be because it was with Ali Ash.
I don't know. I
Oh,
can't
the
find it
world may
now,
never
but
know. It's in there
oh wait,
somewhere.
I think I found it
Oh,
right
that right.
here.
Yep, there it is.
She took it to a threesome sex level. Well, now we know she wants to have sex in cars and with brothers.
With brother.
That's Valerie's kink. But it was funny because I was just like, oh, that's cute. If you can't have one, you might have a second chance. And then she just took it as I
One
want
right
all of
after the
them.
other.
Yeah. And then I started talking about how I think threesomes would be in real life versus in my head,
Yes,
which is probably really embarrassing. I haven't listened to that back, but
it was
well, I
pretty
haven't listened to
funny.
it back since we've done it. I listened to it back originally, but I haven't lately, so that's probably embarrassing. And I think in this next episode, I revealed something else that went wrong in episode 9. We had some good stuff in here. This was our last huge episode that we did before our most recent, major episode. Because the one we did before was just a Christmas
Yes,
thing.
yes.
Or one we did after. Sorry. I'm already losing it. Look at me. I can't speak
She's had too
today.
much eggnog.
Jeez. All right. So, do you have stuff for 9 or is that all me?
It's all you.
All me. All right. So, I had a couple stuff in here. Let's see.
Well, you had your
What?
revealing thing was at the beginning. Are you just gonna let people find that for themselves? Or are you going back
Wait,
to that
what?
later?
What?
Didn't you? Wasn't that the Nole one where
What
you
Nole one?
revealed something about yourself at the very beginning of this episode?
Was it in the beginning? I
Yes,
have
it's
no
Nole.
idea where it
Yeah, it's
is.
Nole with the bald kids. That's what started
Oh,
it.
okay, here it is. Okay, you
Yes,
know what's funny? I was just gonna mention it because I didn't know where it was. Um,
yes.
and this, don't you love how we have no idea what we're talking about? We're just like trying to tell each other. Like,
I
all this whole
remember.
episode, like, in this episode was, I accidentally said that I wished I was a kid so I can fondle men, and it would look so bad. And I didn't realize, like, I said it in such an innocent, like, in my head, it was so innocent. But when it came out, I realized how awful that sounds. And I just went, oh my gosh, that's the worst thing I've ever said on the show. And I think one of the greatest things about this is you never know what's going to come out of either one of our mouths.
That's right.
And the instant embarrassment and like horror we feel over what we say.
Oh,
Like
when curving goes wrong.
yeah, like it went so ass up really quickly No pun intended. Like it was really bad because I was trying to say that the young kids, they sit on players' laps or they get real touchy feely, and they don't recoil or they don't go, oh, that's weird. Whereas when you're an adult, you look like the Boodles women. You know what I mean?
Yes, or they
It
call
looks bad.
security.
Yeah, they call security. You get restraining orders. It's a whole to do. But when you're kids, you can kind of get away with it. So that was kind of my train of thought was I always say that I wish I was younger so I can kind of do that stuff. And then I kind of realized that I just said I wish I was younger so I can fondle dudes without getting a restraining order. And it sounded so bad. And if you listen to
get
it,
the restraining order, but you'll be okay.
yeah, if you listen to it, you can hear me realize what I just said and just become just so horrified at what I just said. And Valerie's laughing. She loves it. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry. Like it was just one of those moments where I have had a couple of those moments of like, what are you doing? But I think that was probably one of the biggest. Oh my God, what are you doing? Please just stop talking. Like, and so it's probably good that this episode I haven't been able to talk properly, speak properly. Maybe it's a good thing. And so that was at the beginning. And Valerie just loves it. She brought it up on Twitter, I think.
Yeah,
At one point.
probably.
And I just like, really don't talk about it. We're gonna pretend it didn't exist. Oh no, go back. One of my favorite things about this episode was talking about Stan and the coffee in Paris and how the guys come out like butlers and like in outfits and they have and it was just a whole spectacle and it was one of my favorite things that happened throughout the year.
Yes.
It just visually was just very great. So we get into that and I
Yes.
gush about how I love it.
And we had the Stan drinking the photographer's water as well.
Mhm. Yeah, right after this, Stan took a swig of reporter's water and we got into a debate on if we would drink it after that.
Yes.
If it was our water, would we drink it? And we had some mixed reactions.
That's right. So you'll have to listen and find out.
Yeah, definitely. So definitely if you didn't see those sections or whatnot, definitely go back and listen.
You could just go back and listen to them all in order.
Sorry.
Courtney's choking at the idea. Oh my God. It's like 12 hours.
Yeah, we've had a lot of great moments, a lot of inside jokes, a lot of moments where we just start laughing hysterically. Because we always say, if nothing else, we amuse each other.
Yes.
We make each other laugh. And we've had a lot of fun. So go back, especially players that you aren't really familiar with.
Right.
Because we kind of shed light on some of these guys and you can be stalking them soon.
That's right.
After you listen to it.
And learn more about why you should be obsessing over other people.
Yeah, definitely. So Happy New Year, you guys.
Woo!
We did it. We had our first half year because we started kind of in spring, I think we started. Around there.
Yeah, it's definitely a half year.
So yeah, we had 9 episodes, 10 if you're counting this one, and 11 if you're counting the Merry Christmas special. But we had a lot of butts, a lot of just a lot of chaos and craziness, and we hope you enjoyed it. And we loved hearing from you guys. We hope you enjoy the Christmas cards, those who got them. Yeah, it's been amazing. I've had a lot of fun doing this. We've gotten to know each other really well.
Yes.
Maybe too well.
We've only had a couple fights.
Yes, we've only had a couple fights. We did. Me and Valerie are very different, and we do argue. But it's funny because we come together on this webcast, and it's just we work.
That's right.
We work. It's we're a little weird off this. We're not always on the same page with each other, but when we push record, I just feel like we work and we razz each other all the time as just for fun.
That's right. It's magic. It's just all magic.
It's hilarious. So thank you guys for listening and partying with us on New Year's.
Yes, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this very long session and the awards. And We're going to talk about a lot more cock and butts next year. We're going to work out our schedule to see what webcasts we can provide for you, and we will continue to try to improve and perv more. So thank you for listening. Happy New Year, and this has been the night session. Ta-da!
Oh, I didn't press stop. Sorry, guys. Blooper.
I know.